Hello, my name is Davey. I'm a registered nurse at St Helena Hospice. I'm here just to show you some little techniques that will help you with your breathlessness. So you'll see separate videos for separate techniques. Feel free to use them for your breathing to help your breathlessness. So the first technique I'm going to talk you through is something called relaxed abdominal breathing. This is a basic breathing technique, and it is the way that we should all be breathing if we can. We need to make sure that neck and shoulders are nicely relaxed. If you have difficulty with that, you can try elevating your shoulders and then just letting them go. So you make sure all this area is nice and relaxed. Then you can take your hands, just pop them just above your belly button, just underneath your rib cage. Make sure your neck and your shoulders are still relaxed, and then take a nice breath in through your nose. And then out through your mouth. And as you do so, you should feel your hands moving outwards. And as you breathe out, your hands moving inwards. And that is the diaphragm muscle moving up and down as you breathe. So you would breathe in, hands come out, breathe, hands go in. And you should feel those hands moving in and out as you breathe, and that will help your breathing to be better and you to feel more relaxed. I'm just going to show you this from a standing position to the side. So if you breathe in, tummy comes out, breathe out, tummy goes in, breathe in, and out. So the next breathing technique is called pursed lip breathing. So this breathing helps you to slow down your out breath. And because you're doing it from a slightly different mouth shape, it will put some back pressure into your lungs and will help the airways feel as though they can breathe a bit better. So the way to do this is to breathe in through your nose and then breathe out using a blowing action rather than just normally breathing out through your nose. And it's that blowing action, as though you're trying to breathe out through a straw, that will help splint the airways in the lungs and make you feel as though you can breathe a bit freer. So it's breathing in through the nose, and then blowing out through the mouth. And you can also use that technique as you're moving around, and it helps to stop you breath holding, and it helps to make your movements more in tune with your breathing and help you with your breathlessness as you move around. So the next technique I'm going to show you is something called fan therapy. So anyone who suffers from breathlessness, we recommend that you get a little hand fan, which you can buy in the shops, or you can buy on the internet. Now this is well researched in breathlessness, and the reason it works is because when you feel a bit of air moving around near your face, it helps to calm the breathing down, and I'll explain why that works. You've got nerves in your face and in your nose, mouth and cheek area. When those nerves are stimulated by air, it immediately starts speaking to the breathing centre in the brain, and it just calms everything down. The brain feels that everything is safe, everything is okay, and it helps you feel calmer. The way to use the fan is to not have it too close. So you don't want it here, you want it more about here, but you will work out the best distance for yourself, and move it around so that you are getting as much stimulation to those nerves as you can. It can take a little while to feel better, but it will gradually start making you feel more comfortable and your breathing calmer. So the next technique I'm going to show you is something called the breathing rectangle. Some people know it as rectangular breathing, some people know it as box breathing, some people know it as square breathing. It's the same principle. And I'm going to show you how to use this simple technique to help with your breathlessness when you've got very breathless. So here is a rectangle shape, and there are others that you can use, things like television screens, mirrors, pictures, even a door can help to use for your breathing. So basically it can be landscape, it can be portrait, but the main importance is the shape. So when we breathe out for slightly longer than we breathe in, so hence the longer side and the shorter side. When we're starting to feel that we're getting breathless, our brain can start taking over and we can start to feel anxious. So therefore we need something to distract our brains, give it something else to do. So therefore you find a rectangle shape of some sort and you start breathing around it and give that brain a task. So starting on a corner, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, and slowly round your rectangle. Or if you're very breathless, you might be going around it quite quickly, but you will find that that technique will help you to make your breathing slower and more calmer as you're focusing on that rectangle shape and slowly bringing your breathing down to a more manageable rate. So whatever rectangle you're using, be it a television screen, be it a mirror, be it a picture outside, gates, or even a car you can make a rectangle out of, or if you've got your mobile phone with you, use that as your rectangle, but it will slowly, concentrating on that will slowly help bring your breathing down. So just once again, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, and then going round to help recover your breathing. The next thing that will help your breathing is to think about your positioning. So when you've got breathless, sometimes to change your position will help your breathing. So if you're sitting, then you can lean forward. And what that does is it rests the shoulders and the arms and helps you to breathe freely. You can even lean back, opening up the chest, and that will help you to breathe freely, and you will know which position helps you the best. You can also do a standing lean. So taking this chair for example, you can lean on a chair, this type of chair, an armchair. You can lean on kitchen worktops, you can lean on gates if you're outside, you can even lean back onto lampposts or walls if you're not able to find a seat outside and you need to recover your breathing. And these will all help your breathing to feel easier. Breathlessness can cause quite a lot of anxiety and sometimes panic with your breathing. So I'm going to show you a technique which can help with that, and it's called the calming hand. We've always got a hand with us. We can use the different fingers of our hands to go through a little sequence that will help to bring your panic and anxiety down. So it starts with the thumb, recognizing that you are starting to feel panicky, that the breathing's getting out of control and you want to try and calm that down. Then you will use the index finger as an indication to really blow out. Let that stale air out of your lungs because it will be building up. You want to let it out. So that's your index finger. You will then want to take a breath in, which is your middle finger, and then breathing out again, preferably by blowing out because that helps your breathing. And then the little finger, you will do a little tense and release of your hand, and you can do that either by making a fist or you can do it by stretching your hand. Both will work. So I'll just take you through that again. So it's recognition that you need to start controlling your breathing and your panic. Letting it out, letting the muscles go. breathing in, blowing out or breathing out, and then the little finger and letting it go. And then you go back to the thumb. Am I feeling better? Do I need to go around it again? Just do it as often or as many times as you need to start bringing your breathing under control and to start calming down. So we have information leaflets for people who suffer from breathlessness. For patients, they're on our website, and for healthcare professionals, they're on SharePoint. We have the breathlessness management leaflet with all the breathing techniques I've talked through. We have living with breathlessness and fatigue, which also helps with energy levels and pacing your activities or slowing down. We also have anxiety management, which looks at things like sleep, relaxation, and also has the calming hand. So feel free to use these resources.